What's up everyone, Reggie from ReggieTECH here. I hope you're all doing well, and thanks for tuning into the channel. In today's video, we're going to be unboxing, testing out, and reviewing the Tacklife Model M1 tire inflator. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty you guys, so here is the Tacklife M1 portable tire inflator. So once again, I do love how Tacklife packages their stuff. They always shrink wrap their boxes, and that just gives you the added assurance that your product is brand new and untampered with. So let's go ahead and get this shrink wrapping off. And once that shrink wrapping is off, we can see the box a lot more clearly. On the front cover of the box, it says Tacklife Portable Tire Inflator Model M1. Gives you a nice little image of a tire right there and the inflator right here. Coming over to the side of the box, we have two nice images of the portable inflator inflating a bike tire as well as a car tire. Coming over to the other side of the box, it just gives you some more information about what this inflator can inflate, which is car tires, bike tires, balls, as well as the pool accessories that you can buy. On the back of the box, we do get the bulk of the information, as well as some instructions on how to operate this product right up here at the top. And it tells you right here to start the car engine, plug the connector into the cigarette lighter adapter, and then connect the air hose tightly to the air valve, and then you'll set your PSI value that you want it to pump to, and then you'll just press the power button to start inflating. It says read before using. You got to read all the instructions and stuff, gives you some things to watch out for, tells you all the product features right here, gives you the company information down here, as well as some more things. So let's get this out of the box so that we can see how it looks. Alrighty, so we get one little box right here. Let's see what comes inside. So we get some silica packets, and then we get what looks to be a carrying case. So once again, Tacklife always gives you some really nice accessories. Get a nice carrying case, as well as all the accessories right here. So we have three different types of adapters in this little baggie right here for different types of things you'll be pumping up. We also have an additional fuse, as well as another adapter. This is for that Schrader type valve, I believe, and we'll put that aside. Next up, we do have a little warranty card right here, thanking us for our purchase and telling us about the warranty information. Throw that aside. And finally, we do get the user manual for this air compressor. It gives us all the information we need to know about it, specification, best practices, how to use it, and all the different features that it has. You can put that aside as well. Next up in the box, in some nice little molded styrofoam inserts there, we have the tire inflator itself. This tire inflator has some really nice weight to it actually, and feels really nice and rugged. We can see up here at the top, we can see what the product is. This sticker's a little out of place. That's kind of weird. But anyways, we also have the LCD screen right here, all the buttons. We have the button for the light. We do have some different lighting features with this little light bar that's right there. Power switch is right here. As you guys can see, that hose is basically wrapped around the product, and we'll be taking a look at the length of that later on in the video. Then we do have the power cord right here with that cigarette adapter, the 12 volt line, and that's a pretty long cord. We'll be checking that out a little later on as well. On the bottom, we do have four little rubber feet that are screwed in place, so that's kind of nice. If we ever need to replace them, easily replaceable. And on the back of the product, we get the information about it, and it tells us some things to watch out for and make sure we do. And that is about it. I am seeing right here there is a nice heatsink that is just built right into the product up here. So you'll get some really good heat dissipation from the compressor. I like the fact that they did use metal right here for that heatsink, and they didn't put it internally or something like that. It's a really nice touch and kind of all just seamlessly goes well together. So they did a really nice job with designing this product as well as making it look really stylish at the same time. So let's go ahead and get this out to the car and we'll test it out. Alright you guys, so we're outside now, and as you can see I have my bike in front of me and my car behind me, and we're going to be testing out how this Tacklife M1 tire inflator works, and we'll see if it's any good and if it's any better than their other model that was just horrible. So let's go ahead and get this thing plugged into power and we'll see how it works out. Now to plug it into power, all you need to do is plug it into the 12 volt DC cigarette socket in your car and then turn your car to the third click right before engine on, so that the engine heat or just the car being on and running, it doesn't affect the tire pressure. Alrighty, and once we have that plugged in and powered on, we can just run the cable down a little bit. And the first thing we're going to be testing it out on is my bike tire, as we did in the previous videos. Now, my bike tire is completely flat. I have totally removed all air from the tire, so there's no pressure there. And we're just going to go ahead and connect the hose to the bike tire stem. And this one has the same type of hose and connector here as the other Tacklife A1 tire inflator had. That didn't really work out too well, but we'll see how this one works out. Alright, so once we get that screwed on all the way, we're just going to go ahead and switch this tire inflator. Right, and there we go. Not sure what happened there. So I just had to wiggle around the connector on the cigarette port right there, and as we can see it has turned on now. And we're going to go ahead and set this. We're going to bring it back to the PSI measurement, and we're going to set the target down here all the way up to 60 PSI, which is what I pump this bike tire up to. It does have a range between 45 PSI and 65 PSI. I typically keep it at 60 PSI. So once it's at 60 PSI, we're just going to go ahead and flip that switch on the side, and it'll turn it on. And there we go, we are now at 63 PSI, and I'm guessing that it just is accommodating for the time that it takes to unscrew that little hose connector right there to the stem, but right now it's at 62.5, and let's go ahead and undo this connection. And we are definitely going to test this out with the digital tire pressure gauge, and we're going to see what the tire pressure is right now on this bike. There we go, and the tire pressure says it's 51.9. Let's get one more reading just to make sure that this didn't mess up. And there we go, 52 psi. You know, what can I say? It's definitely not accurate. At this point, we're still going to test it out to see if it can actually pump the car's tire up. However, at this point, I am not convinced it will. But you know what? I'm actually going to grab one more tire pressure gauge, and we'll see what it reads. Okay, so I've gone ahead and grabbed one of the old school ones. It is a basic one that has its own little spindle in there. So let's test this out. Alright, and there you have it. It is definitely not 60 psi. That is right around 50 psi, even on the basic analog version of the tire pressure gauge. So I am definitely not satisfied so far, but let's see if this will actually be able to at least hold the air inside of the car tire. Now before we start, I am filming this the same day that I did the other Tacklife one, as well as the other tire compressor, so air compressor, sorry. And you know, before we start, I am going to show you guys what the PSI is currently on this tire of my car. So we're going to do the digital tire gauge right here. And we are currently at 22.8 PSI. So let's go ahead and turn that off. And next step, we're just going to bring this a little closer. Let me grab a little bit more cord. Alright, and already you guys can hear the hissing. It is definitely letting air out. So let's see if this will pump this up at least. I'm going to target. At 35 psi, and we're just going to turn this on. And you know what? I'm actually going to just stop the Tacklife and take this out, because I can see exactly how deflated this back tire is getting. I mean, look at it already. Yet another Tacklife tire inflator that is just extremely disappointing. I mean, let's see what the tire pressure is left with right now. It's at 22.5 on the gauge of the tire of the Tacklife. Let's see, and it's 21.6. So it's not even getting an accurate reading of what the tire pressure is. Alright, so with that being done, this is yet another one that is extremely disappointing. Alright you guys, so you guys just saw how this tire inflator air compressor performed. I mean, it looks really nice, don't get me wrong. It looks extremely nice. I love the weight that it has. I like all these little features that make it look so cool with the heat sink, you know, protruding out from the plastic, and that little screen right there. You know, it comes with a nice long cord to plug it into the car. It comes with a nice long hose here. And it comes with some nice little attachments that, you know, can just fit inside the bag. Has an extremely nice bag that I really do like, honestly. However, it is not that great of a product. I mean, it just doesn't do what it's advertised to do. Let's see. So, let's start with the basics. So, you use it to inflate something. I mean, you guys saw I inflated the bike tire, and I tried to inflate the car tire. So I inflated it and I set the PSI to 60 PSI, and it said that it was complete. It shut off when it's done, you know, as it's supposed to do. However, it did not actually pump that tire to 60 PSI. When we checked it with the two other tire gauges, the two other pressure gauges, it just did not have the correct PSI. It read about 50 PSI, 52 PSI, you know, and it just didn't do what it was supposed to do. But the next thing that I just have to say that I don't like about this, and it's the same problem that I had with the A6 model of Tacklife's air compressor, is the this little valve at the end of the hose. Now, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work well, and it's just not a great choice for an air compressor or a tire inflator or anything like that. You have to screw it on. I mean, you know, okay, you screw it on, whatever the case may be. It screwed on fine to the bike. I didn't hear any hissing. It wasn't letting out air. And then, you know, once you're done filling up the air, you got to unscrew this. By the time you unscrew it, you've lost a certain amount of PSI. And then when we get over to the tire, you know, the tires for cars, they hold so much more air. I mean, it has, you know, about 35 PSI in the tire. That's what my manufacturer says is the standard for that specific tire. But, you know, there's just so much more air inside that tire. And when you screw this onto the stem of the tire, all you hear is hissing. And I screwed this thing down all the way as much as it can go, and it doesn't really have that many threads. Honestly, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines of threads on this little hose right here on the valve. And all you heard was hissing. And, you know, we turned it on anyways. We said, you know, why not? Let's check and see if it'll inflate the tire or whatever the case may be. You know, you hear the hissing, whatever. And we turned it on, and what happened? The tire lost so much more air than what was being pumped into it. So I just gotta say, this product is a complete fail, just like the other Tacklife air tire inflator air compressor. You know, I like Tacklife products. They make some great, you know, power drills and some great stud finders and things like that. I've had one for a couple years now, and it works fine. I've never had an issue with it, never experienced a problem, and they're always spot on. But the tire inflators, I don't know, man. They just, I don't know, they just fall short on a lot of what they're actually supposed to be doing. But, you know, So, you know, I would not really recommend even purchasing this. I mean, I purchased this on a Prime sale. They have, you know, those flash sales all the time. I purchased it and I thought it was gonna work well, but unfortunately it doesn't. So it's gonna get returned. You know, I rarely ever return products, but when a product just doesn't work right or work as it's supposed to, there's really no point in keeping it. So it's just gonna go back. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative, go ahead and smash that like button down below and click that notifications bell if you guys want to be notified whenever I upload any new videos. If you guys like this type of content and want to see more content just like it, consider subscribing to my channel. And if you guys want to check this out, I don't really suggest it, but you know, either way, I'm going to leave that link down in that description box below. You guys can go ahead and check it out and see how it works for you or how it works in general. But if you guys have any questions or comments at all, as always, go ahead and comment them down in that comment section and I'll be quick to answer them. With all that being said, everyone, I hope you all stay well, stay safe, and stay healthy. I'll see you next time.